What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Benzinga Live. Happy Friday! And welcome to everyone who is joining us from our Benzinga All Access show. Shout out Zunaid for running that so smoothly. It was a great time. And shout out to all the companies that joined us today. Guys, let me know in the chat what stocks you guys are watching, what trades you guys are making, what you guys want to check out today. We will go through all of the biggest headlines, things we need to know about what's going on in the market today. We obviously will talk some Snap earnings. We talked about Snap earnings a little bit during All Access when I gave that market update, but we will do some more extensive coverage of Snapchat. We will look at just the overall market, see how tech is doing. The Qs did drop severely, and now it looks like we're coming back up a little bit, but still down on the day, about 1.5% on the Qs. So definitely checking out some other tech stocks. We're going to talk about some of the earnings we have to look forward to next week. And also a quick update on what is going on in the oil and gas market. So without further ado, let's go ahead, roll that intro, and get the show started.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How are we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a
breaking news. All righty, y'all. So let's go ahead and just start with Snapchat since that's our biggest story of the day. Give me 1 second. I'm getting my Benzinga Pro pulled up. And then as always, like I said, just let me know in the chat what stocks you guys are watching. I'm always curious. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still trying to get logged in here, having a bit of technical issues. But here, while I'm waiting for this, I'll just give you guys the brief overview, and then we'll go into the numbers. So Snapchat, which has had problems over the past few years, reported that advertising sales are slowing. And the reason that this brought other stocks down with it is because the assumption now for investors is that, okay, if companies are spending less money on advertising on Snapchat, that probably means they're spending less money on, places like Instagram, Facebook, just social media in general. Like maybe these companies, they have higher production costs with inflation. So maybe they just have to cut back on their ad spending on their budget. It will be interesting to see if Google and Facebook are Google and Meta are the two biggest other ad sales. And then of course you have Microsoft. So next week will be a big week when it comes to earnings. Ooh, Carlos got in on some Snap puts. Let's go. Which ones you get in? How much you make? Tesla short still on, got stopped out of everything else. Yeah. So we have an article today, and actually let's do this. Let's pull up, some of our articles of the day. And there's a few interesting things, we need to talk about. So let's start with Snapchat. Let's go into the numbers on Snapchat. Let me get my Benzinga Pro pulled up here. Speaking of Carlos Tiny Pie, Carlos Sands, how's he doing? All right, Snap down 39%, 38.8. We'll call it 39 though. We'll round up to 39. So Snap's down 39%. Let's go to the news column. We put out a good. Let's go BZ Wire. We put out a good article last night, kind of. All right, here we go. Oh, that's not the article. Here we go. All right, so camera company and Snapchat parent company Snap Inc. is falling after hours Thursday after reporting second quarter financial results. Here are the key highlights. What happened? Snap reported second quarter revenue of $1.11 billion, up 13% year over year. Sounds good, right? Well, just wait. The total came in shy of the street estimate of 1.14. That's not that huge of a deal to me. I mean, you miss by, what is that, $300,000? Like, come on. According to Benzinga Pro. Company reported a loss of 2 cents per share in the second quarter, missing the street estimate of a loss of 1 cent per share. So EPS came in slightly worse than expected. Snap reported daily active users of about 347 million, up 18% year over year. I mean, again, all these numbers look fine. But here's where things got a little bit interesting. The company announced it would not provide third quarter guidance. kind of a red flag. Given the uncertainties related to the operating environment, we are not providing our expectations for revenue or adjusted EBITDA for the third quarter of 2022, company said. Company also announced a $500 million stock repurchase program and had been authorized by the board of directors. The plan calls for buying shares on the open market or through privately negotiated transactions. The goal of the program is to utilize the company's strong balance sheet to offset a portion of the dilution related to the issuance of restricted stock units to employees. Snap ended the second quarter with about $5 billion in cash and cash equivalents. So basically, I mean, your kicker there is the numbers weren't great. Some of them don't sound terrible, but you did have that drop off in ad sales, which is just going to be the kicker for Snapchat. And of course, as a growth company, one thing you have to prove in your earnings reports is that you're growing. And for a company like Snapchat, that's already valued at a $26 billion company, keep in mind this was well over $100 billion in terms of market cap, just a few months ago. Snapchat is in a position where just growing users, just your year over year users, being up isn't enough. You need to have the financials growing as well. We're past the stage for Snapchat that just user growth can be enough. So investors are basically saying, look, now's the time where Snapchat has to figure out, are you going to be a legitimate company? Are you going to make money going forward? Are you going to be good for investors? Or are you just going to be a piece of shit? And right now, I mean, looking at the chart, it's pretty clear that Snapchat stock at least has just been a piece of shit over the past, I don't know, going back since October, almost a full year now, 9 months. So I don't know. I'm not buying Snap down here. I would need to see some. And here's the thing. I mean, if Snap it ends up being okay, maybe they change their business model around, whatever. Maybe they're bringing in more revenue. Maybe they're growing more than some people are expecting. So what? So maybe this gap gets filled and it comes back up to 25, and maybe I'm interested in it at some point, but I wouldn't mind buying it while it's on the uptrend. I don't need to come down here and try to bottom fish it under $10. That's disgusting. This was an $80 stock and now it's under $10. That shows you just right there that, part of you might say, oh my God, this thing's a screaming deal right now. It's so cheap. This thing's under $10 for a reason. This is showing you that Wall Street and investors, retail, institutional investors alike have looked at this over the past 8 months and said, nope, I'd rather sell this than buy this. So if you want to go out and buy an asset, buy a security or buy an equity that is people are trying to sell more than they're trying to buy, you could get caught holding a bag on it. Now, if I have an edge and you feel like you have an edge in social media and you love Snapchat for some reason and want to hold it super long term, okay. I mean, like if you want to buy a few shares down here at $10 and hold it for 5-10 years, I don't hate that, honestly. But I almost think it's more likely, right, that this thing goes from 10 to 5 than it does from going to 10 to 20, at least in the next 3-4 months. I mean, think about Snapchat's already down here at $10. What happens if Apple and Microsoft report not so great earnings and it brings down the rest of tech with it? This thing will continue to keep getting crushed. So, I say this as someone who bought calls yesterday, mind you. I didn't buy calls on it other than just, oh, Easy Mike, you out? All right, bro. Have a good weekend. See you next time. Maybe next calls you do for Snap does better. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be. So one thing I was thinking about yesterday. Oh, holy shit! Speaking of options, though, my Q options are performing well, and my account as of right now is not technically blown up yet. I do want to talk about this actually for a second though. So if you weren't with us yesterday, and here I'll go ahead and pull up my Robinhood because I do think one of my biggest qualms with people in financial media in general, whether it's FinTwit influencers, or people on TikTok or people on Reddit. It's just like, be honest, right? Like no one out there is going to hit 100% of their options trade. So if all you're doing is sharing your green stubs when you were up 10,000% on this or that call, and I still see it all the time where people get caught trying to post, paper trade accounts and they get caught. Look, I had been told from like day one when I started trading options on Robinhood, which was before COVID even hit. It was February 2020 when I started trading options on Robinhood, that people were like, look, eventually you're trading options, you're gambling, you're going to go back to zero, you're going to lose all your gains. I thought really like, and I I was so dumb. I had no clue what I was doing. Like I was literally buying. So I was buying puts initially into COVID, made a lot of money off that, stayed short, lost it all, ended up making more money than I initially made, lost all that. Um, and so, part of me was like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at trading options. I can do this consistently. I can do this, to help supplement my income, like whatever. And over time, like it just catches up with you. Like if you're buying out of the money put or call options, the majority of those contracts expire worthless. So right now, like I bought some Q puts this morning with like the $100 that I guess $146 that I had left in my account. Um, and these things will either expire worthless on Monday or I'll have a few $100 in here and then, my account won't technically be blown up. But this is how I kind of break this down. Like this is my uh Robinhood YOLO fun account. Like I honestly don't see this as any differently. I think at some point, in my trading journey, I did feel as if I, had an edge in options trading and I was doing really well and it didn't really feel like gambling at all. But now after a couple of years of doing it, I basically see this Robinhood account as like the same thing as I see my DraftKings account, right? I'm not going to put trades on here that I wouldn't be okay with losing that money because I know that's what's the most likely outcome. And I don't think there's any investor out there, like someone that I look up to or someone that I would want to learn from that trades this way, that buys YOLO, options that expire the next day or buys calls or buy puts. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Warren Buffett's never traded an option in his life. It's sexy. I get the appeal. Trust me, I got drawn into it because you see, these screenshots of these crazy returns, whether it's on Twitter, on Reddit, whatever. But in terms of like an actual sound strategy, there are some with options, but it's not buying out of the money calls and puts. And that's kind of the realization I came to yesterday. I was like, all right, look, if I here and there want to bet a few $100s on like on a YOLO option on earnings play, fine. As long as it's not causing me, like trouble, whatever. And as long as I'm still making my investments in my real portfolios, in my like long-term portfolios, my Roth, my 401k. But maybe the more sensible way to like implement options into investing, even if you are just trying to kind of supplement your income, is going to be to implement some sort of spreads, some sort of, where you're some sort of strategy where you're selling options in addition to buying them if you are buying them. Because like I said, a majority of options contracts that are bought end up expiring worthless. So if you, or at least out of the money ones. So if you, if I was trying to sell you an asset and said, hey, this is going to go to zero, chances are you wouldn't buy it. And that's basically, well, maybe if I was trying to sell you something and said, hey, there's a chance this goes to zero, there's a chance this goes to $1,000 and it costs $200, maybe you do take it. And that's just where you really have to, weigh that risk and reward. And that is one thing that I do really like about trading options and buying options is that the risk is so defined, right? I bought these QQQ puts for for 73. So I bought two of them. So my average cost was 146. That is the max I can lose on this trade is $146. If you're out here like naked shorting stocks or selling things like selling contracts outright, your risk can be way more than what you're initially putting out there. So that's the one, I guess, upside to the buying options is you have a very defined risk. There are other scenarios where I think like it can make sense. For example, if you're looking at a company that you think is flying super under the radar, and say you think it's like say it's a $20 stock and you think it should be a $100 stock, it can make sense sometimes to look like a year out and try to find some like crazy leaps. Like this is a $20 stock and you buy $80 strikes and you end up being right and this thing goes up 200% in that year. You're making way more money than if you just would have had bought the stock outright. But there's way more risk involved in those leaps. So I just want to be clear with everyone and be honest. So like part of me was like beating myself up. Like, how could you, like be so shitty? I mean, look at this. Like I literally have lost $5,000 on here in the last month, just trying to trade like crazy YOLO options. And I was beating myself up over it. And then I got to the point where I was like, look, I mean, like I'm learning, like I'm not I should have never expected that I'm smarter than the market or to be able to do this. So I think I'm accepting that and saying, you know, why is AB rationalizing his gambling? I don't think I'm trying to do that. I think I'm trying to be clear and saying that this is like what this is. If this is how you're trading options, that it basically is gambling. I don't want people to get it twisted. Well, didn't make much money on Netflix, but didn't lose much either for its earnings. Oh yeah, Jeff was in here all day on Tuesday talking about how bearish he was Netflix, and I mean, he was kind of right. Like the company didn't do well. They lost 1 million subscribers, and somehow the market took it and ran with it. But yeah, and I mean, and then that was the thing is I got to the point where it's like, all right. And then I was also thinking like I could easily sit here and say, all right, I'm done trading. I'm not going to buy options anymore. And then I was like, you know what? That's like what that's what happens when people get through these tough periods and then they just get out of the market and they're never in it again. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take this as a learning opportunity. I'm going to get better. And I'll look back on this one day and say, hey, remember when I, lost $5,000 in a month trying to trade options on Robinhood? Yeah, I do remember that. And here are the lessons that I learned from it. Yeah, we wouldn't be calling it gambling if these trades were hitting either. We'd be calling it like he's a great trader. So, Google down 5. Yeah, Jeff. I mean, it's tough. Like I love Google here. I absolutely love Google here for the long term. I mean, it's $108 stock now. Even with the split, we go back up to the highs. That's what 150. So you're looking at like a 30 to 40% return just to get back to those highs. But you got to realize just like it's not really about what the company reports right now. It's about, and it's not just now. I mean, it's always like this where it's just about, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but it's really about vibes. If you think about it, right? Like if Google reports a good, if Google reports a good quarter and then says that they're not getting hit by the decrease in advertising spending like Snapchat is, the vibes will be very high for Google. People say, holy shit. But right now, I think the vibes are a lot of people out there still worried about like that next leg down and this earnings crunch. So I don't know. I mean, like I really wouldn't be surprised to see Google trading below $100 next week after earnings, just with what depending on what like the overall vibes are like for next week. But long term, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think clearly here, just looking at the portfolio, like it's not even that like. Well, first of all, my calls this week at my like just picking directionally has been terrible. I picked I picked puts on Tesla and Netflix. They both beat. And then I bought I bought calls on Snapchat just because I was sick of getting crushed on the puts. But I think right here, Shelly, you can really see like a lack of risk management. But with that said, there is basically no risk management in this portfolio because if I have my, Roth that has, thousands and thousands, however much money is in there with equities like long term, it's like, all right, that money's fine, safe. I know I'm getting paid in a couple weeks. This money is like, I don't need to have risk management. I can play with it. And that was the goal. But do I wish I still had this $5,000 that was in there? 100%. Having $5,000 in my account would be better than $298. But again, my only reason to bring this up was just wanted to be honest. I want to be honest with you guys about where I'm at in terms of my options trading. I don't think I'll be, buying so many options in terms of just out of the money calls and puts. I just don't think it's sustainable. It's very fun when it does hit. I can think back on like my hand, like my favorite options trades I've ever hit. I mean, I had puts on like the SPY during COVID when there were circuit breakers. Like that was so exhilarating, so fun, especially as a new trader. And I didn't even really, I think, appreciate how rare or like crazy that was. I was like, oh, like the market's down 7%. They're closing the market. Like that seems like normal, not normal, but like that didn't seem like crazy. But the fact that I had puts like into that and was making like thousands of percents on these, like my first time like doing this and thought like, okay, like what I'll show you guys like back here. This is March 20th, the lowest point in the market, 2020, I was up $11,000. off like $800 initially that I put into my Robinhood. And then I lost it all because that's what happens. And then look, I made it all back. I made more. I was up to 20 and I lost all that. I came down to 6. I went back up to 15. I lost all that. Went back up. And that's just how it's. And then here's where things got really ugly. So, yeah. And actually, for the first time today, I'm negative on my all time on Robinhood. So we got to hope these, I don't know. Trent, you like the way this market is set? You like the way it's setting up for a long or a short? Yeah, so I do. I mean, my biggest worry, honestly, with these companies reporting next week is, and I don't know how like bullshit this is or not, but if you guys remember, like a month or two ago, Microsoft came out and basically said that with the Forex exchange rate, it was hurting their like international sales. And it's tough. All right, I can't look at this chart anymore. It's too gross. Let's pull something else up. Let's pull the SPY. Microsoft came out warning about it. It's like Forex exchange rate, that the strong dollar was going to hurt its international sales. And part of me is like, all right, like if you're a company like Microsoft and you're running through some weakness, like, all right, what can we blame it on? Well, strong dollar. All right, that's up there. Let's do that. I think that's part of it. Is just saying, all right, like, what can we give as an explanation here that is not something internal to Microsoft, an external force, an external headwind just dragging us down? Okay, we can blame it on the strong dollar. Part of me thinks it's that. It's just Microsoft trying to come up with saying, hey, the problem's not us. It's them. It's the economy. It's not us. But if what Microsoft is saying about that is true, and there probably is some truth baked into that, they are getting hurt by that, but probably getting hurt by other things as well, you got to imagine that transfers to the other big companies, right? Like, I mean, that was part of the reason why I was short Tesla in earnings. It's because if Microsoft is saying the strong dollar is hurting their revenue, Tesla sells a lot of cars internationally. But think about stocks like Apple, Meta, whoever. I mean, like, if that's a real thing, we're going to have to see. So far, who else has come out pre-earnings to guide down? I don't know if it's necessarily an actual guidance. And like kind of joking when I say this, but I'm also kind of not. You just got to think about like what the vibes have been like. And like, even with Tesla, like, I don't think Tesla guided down for this quarter, but if you remember, like Elon saying, hey, it's a really tough quarter. Like, people are kind of setting the bar lower, right? And Microsoft did that when they came out with their Forex thing. And it would just be, I think I would just be shocked right now if, Microsoft, Apple report good earnings, the market keeps ripping, and like everything's behind us. Like, it just doesn't feel. It seems like there are still going to be other macro like issues out there that bring the indexes down. But I don't know. Like, I have no crystal ball. Clearly, my Robinhood portfolio would look a lot better if I had one. Like, we fully could have seen the bottom. The SPY could rip another 8% next week. Who knows? I'm just saying, my personal prediction is that there's still going to be some short-term pain. I don't know if that means we come back and like test these lows that we did on June 16th of 365, but maybe we come down and 10, $20 before we get the next rally. I don't know. I'm just saying that's where I'm at. I personally hope I'm wrong, because I'm still, I mean, look, outside of these two QQQ puts that are worth $318 cumulatively. Oh, that's my only short position. I'm net long. I'm probably 99% like total allocation long. I just think in the short term, we haven't gotten through earnings season yet. We've seen the multiples of these companies get crushed. Now you typically see some of the earnings start to get crushed. The way, with Snapchat and Netflix still losing subs, but the market seemed to like it. Market loved Tesla. I mean, geez, like Tesla can do no wrong. Let's check out Tesla today. Still green somehow. Qs are down 1.5%. Tesla up to 840. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, this thing's like absolutely ripping. I would just be surprised if everyone gives fine earnings and we're fine. Like I think Buglog said I'm gonna put a few hundred on Snap, I believe. So how are you gonna play that, Buglog? Just options? Are you gonna buy common stock? Shelly said a decrease in PE every company is obvious. Yeah, and that's where the multiples are getting crushed. And then I mean part of that is because of an expectation that the earnings are going to be coming down. But part of it's just like, look, the Fed's going to tighten. There's going to be less money flowing out there. Money's going to be less easy to get. And when money's less easy to get, when money's harder to get, it makes you less willing to pay like a higher premium for for an equity, right? If you can go out and get a loan for $100,000 with no interest, like you're going to be way more likely to buy stocks than if if money's tight and you got to pay a lot to borrow. So, we just have to see right now. I agree with those in the chat that are saying wait a little bit for the snap. I mean, just because it's really easy a lot of times. And here, let me get my Benzinga Pro pulled back up so we can get some actual charts. It's really easy to. Sorry, I hate this login thing. All right. It's really easy after an earnings report when a company like Snapchat is down 30% to try to hop in. I'm just going to let you know from experience. Doesn't always work like that, right? Like let's go back to Netflix, right? Netflix's first terrible earnings report of 2022 came in January. And this thing 21% down in a day. I forget the dollar amount in terms of market cap that this was. I don't think it was comparable to when Meta had its really bad earnings report and dropped a lot. But okay, so say like you like Netflix, whatever. It was $500. It has this terrible earnings report, down $21 overnight. Now it's at 350. Like maybe you were looking at buying it at 500 and you were like, you know what, I'll wait for earnings. Then you get the earnings and now it's down here. You want to buy it? Okay, I guess that okay. This one, hand up. I pulled this up as an example. Did not prove my point. This one would have worked for a swing trade bug log. But if you wouldn't have taken those profits, then you're down. Next time Netflix reports earnings, drops down another 35% on this one. And here's where you really might have people coming in and start buying, saying, okay, now we've had 2 consecutive terrible reports in a row. Stock's got to come back up, right? This was $700. Now it's down to $220. Nope. Guess what happens? It keeps going down. There's a reason Snap's under $10. There's a reason Snap went from 80 to less than $10. I think, look, if you're just bullish the social media space, fine, great. Personally, I think we may have seen like peak social media. I think people are, well, I don't know, TikTok is probably going to keep growing. But outside of TikTok, like from what I've seen, is people using Instagram less and less, people using Snapchat less and less. Maybe it's just my age group. People using LinkedIn more and more. I hate LinkedIn though. But anyway, like I think if you really wanted to be bullish, the social media space, I don't even know if I would want to be, because I think the only company I'd want to be bullish in the social media space right now is TikTok. And I don't know. I don't think you can get bullish. I don't think you can buy that right now. I don't honestly disagree with that bug log. Like there were parts of the report that were terrible. There were some parts that weren't that bad. Like we talked about the 18% year-over-year user growth or whatever. But it doesn't matter that the report wasn't that bad. This is how the market is seeing the report. The market is saying the report was that bad. So you can look at it, bug log, and say, hey, this wasn't that bad. But the market's going to say, no, this was bad. We don't want a growth company with slowing growth that's not profitable. We don't want that. Let's dump that off on other people that do want to buy it. Again, I don't completely disagree with you. I'm just saying that you can't. It's like for me, like I had those Tesla puts expired worthless. I could sit up here and bitch and moan all day about how, they really didn't have a good quarter. I was right. If Tesla didn't sell its Bitcoin, then it would have had a negative cash flow quarter. The only reason they had positive cash flow that quarter was because they sold $900 million worth of Bitcoin, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is what the market feels about it. And this is what the market feels about Snap. And I don't even think that Snapchat is down 39% today just because of its report. I think it's down this much because the market is foreseeing what this could mean for Snapchat when the other companies report, when Facebook and Google report. Like they're kind of baking that in right now. It's priced in that advertising sales across the board are down. But then guess what? If they're not down and Google and Microsoft or Google and Metas are okay, isn't that also bad for Snapchat? Showing that, okay, ad sales weren't down industry wide just for this company, just for this shitty company. Google beat 6 out of, yeah. And honestly, Jeff Strong, like, if I had to go long into earnings, any of these companies that still have to report, I probably would be Google. I would think Google's a little bit, I mean, Microsoft and Apple are going to, you'd think, be a little bit more hit by inflation, maybe a little bit hit more by a change in consumer spending. Whereas Google, if you think about it, it's obviously advertising is its main revenue driver. But then you got, everything else in terms of YouTube and all these things. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate. Yeah, exactly. Flip coin. Like Google could beat and the stock could be down the next day 10%. That's the craziest thing about trading these options. You can be dead right about a company's quarter. You can look at all the information you have available and be right, and then it just doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It matters what the market thinks. Guys, I do see my main man and Burr hanging out on the background. We are gonna get to do some trivia today. I don't know if we have a theme for the trivia. I also don't know. Let me see. All right, Enver, let me know whenever we get that screen pulled up. We can run trivia. I'm fine chilling for a few minutes before we get to that. One thing also that was really interesting with the whole Tesla Bitcoin thing was from like a logical standpoint, right? Like Bitcoin has kind of been trading with the Qs, kind of been a measure of risk on, risk off. Bitcoin is usually trading with Tesla, but we had this huge divergence where Bitcoin dropped on the news that Tesla sold Bitcoin. But honestly, like what I was curious about was like, what if Tesla then starts trading lower because Bitcoin's trading lower, but Bitcoin's trading lower because Tesla sold it? Like this whole like dog chasing the tail thing. I don't think it ever really ended up happening that way where Tesla ever came down while Bitcoin was going down. But I think some people were like speculating on that and thinking, could potentially be a working theory out there. Speaking of Tesla, I did want to bring this up just because I kept seeing it on Twitter. I think it's kind of interesting. I want to be very clear. As much of a Tesla, how do I want to describe this? Okay, here we go. I'm a Tesla skeptic. I'm skeptical. I'm not a hater, not a bear, not a bull. Just skeptical. Just skeptical. I mean, anytime you have a company like Tesla trading 20 times higher than Volkswagen when they're like in the same business and Volkswagen selling more cars and they're both have a lot of like, I get it. Trust me. Cause at the end of the day, it's not about a company's fundamentals, what drives its share price. It's about what is someone willing to pay for it. It's about, it's about what the supply and demand is on the market for those shares. And people would rather own a share of Tesla than a share of Volkswagen. That's why Tesla's share price is higher. Is Bree drunk? Shelly said. No, but I kind of feel drunk. I didn't sleep last night. So sorry. I'm try to get some sleep tonight. I don't know. But I was going to say, as a Tesla skeptic, I wanted to bring this up because I kept seeing it on my Twitter. But I just wanted to talk about how this is not anything founded. This is not anything, basically just all conspiracy theories. But who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory? I got to figure out exactly where. Let me pull up my Twitter. So basically, I don't know if you guys saw this article, Mexico Tesla. Basically, Tesla has its own lane at the immigration to bring in its supplies. I don't know who Elon had to talk to in the U.S. government. I don't know who Elon had to talk to in the Mexican government. But either way, great for them. What I've been seeing is a lot of accusations, basically conspiracy theories. Let me pull up who was let me see. I know I just found some. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I was waiting for I'm waiting. I don't have the screen yet. We don't have trivia yet. Yeah, basically people speculating that Tesla is somehow smuggling drugs from Mexico. I don't think it's true. I think it's a conspiracy theory. I don't see. I think it'd be not funny, but kind of funny if it ended up being true. But there's like a lot of actual um things that people are talking about here. There was one, I'll have to do some more digging and find it, but I guess El Chapo's wife or ex-wife somehow involved with someone from like Elon, like paid El Chapo's ex-wife or something. Um, so I don't know. There was a couple big people like Will Menaker, who runs the Chapo Trap House, got 170,000 followers. A few people have been, sharing this. I don't know. I think it's interesting. You hear about that, AT?
What do we hear about?
People are speculating on Twitter.
Okay.
That Tesla.
People love speculating on Twitter.
People love speculating on Twitter. So one of America's favorite pastimes is speculating on Twitter.
They don't got real jobs, but they can speculate on Twitter.
So people are speculating on Twitter that the Tesla is smuggling drugs from Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Teslas don't have a lot of trunk space, so I don't think it's very efficient.
I don't think they're thinking that it's that they're
you want a nice like Cadillac from the 90s.
I don't think they think they're bringing it.
What was that?
How'd that even happen?
Sue.
How'd that even happen?
I don't know. Was that Enver? I feel like that was Enver.
I don't even know. No, I don't. Okay, so I don't think people are thinking that. Dude, where's that coming?
Where is that coming from? Dude, what?
I don't know. Anyway,
right.
I don't think people are thinking that the drugs are actually coming in Tesla's cars. Like they have their own lane to get through the Mexican border. And they're like, this isn't the only thing. I guess there's some other things. The Verge wrote an article.
I love The Verge.
You love The Verge? The Verge wrote an article about this in 2018. Tesla allegedly covered up drug trafficking and spied on employees at the Gigafactory, whistleblower says. So, like, I don't know. Like, would I be absolutely shocked if it came out there was, like, something sketchy going on? I don't know. Maybe not. But it's all, like, just bullshit conspiracy theories right now. I just thought it was interesting. The Verge, obviously, this was from 2018. I don't think anything ever came from this. Again.
Boys, we gotta start.
All right, we gotta start.
Was that you, Enver, the whole time?
That was.
What?
It's
me.
All right,
exactly. And the Boring Company is tunneling. Like they're gonna build a tunnel from Mexico to. Like, come on now. All right,
man. Oh, nice. Hey, it's about that time, huh? You want to full screen us? Drop us in the corner.
Is that why you were suing us because we were doing sports trivia?
You know it, man.
Oh, we're starting. Guys, you know the rules of the game, so we're going to go right into it.
Put the number, not the answer. Put the number that corresponds.
Yep. Which Formula One driver was nicknamed the Professor? Was it 1, Niki Lauda, 2, Emerson Fittipaldi, 3, Ayrton Senna, or 4, Alain Prost? I know. We sprung this trivia segment right on you as AB was ending his Tesla thing, but
our conspiracy theory of the day.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a new segment, by the way.
Oh, I mean, I'm down for it. 4.
I'm guessing Alan. I'm guessing Alan Prost.
No, it's Niki.
No, it's Alan Prost. Trust me, bro. I know my fucking F1 history.
Okay. And his name is Alain.
Alain. Told you.
All right. Well, maybe I'll get the next one right. This is general sports trivia, guys. So we're gonna cover everything here.
MD, who you got this weekend? You love F1?
I think honestly, dude, after watching the Friday practice, Ferrari's looking good. I know he's not gonna agree with me there. He has something against Ferrari, but Ferrari's looking good.
Which nation hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2006? Was it the UK? Was it South Africa? Was it Germany? Was it Brazil? All right, so I know it's not Brazil.
I know it's not
South Africa.
Yeah, I know it's not South Africa. South Africa was
this-
like 2010.
This was the header. This was the Dane heading.
Was this the UK?
It's got to be UK or Germany.
It's got to be. Yeah, it's either UK or Germany.
It's gotta be UK or Germany.
Because I know South Africa was after 2006. Because I remember the Shakira song "Waka Waka." You know.
I'm going
This is
three.
it.
I'm going
This
three.
is-
I'm going Germany.
This is for Africa. Waka Waka. Yeah. You know that song?
Yeah, that was the
Fucking
20. That was the 2010. And
banger.
Then South Africa was 2014.
Banger.
What was 2018? Russia.
South Africa was not 20. It was Germany. Well, congrats everybody who got that right. Seems like
No, I'm
everybody
saying
did know that.
2014. I'm saying South Africa was 2010,
Yeah.
and then Brazil was 2014.
Yeah.
2018 was
U.S. No,
no,
it was not. I lied.
I think it was Russia.
Think so. Okay.
Oh
Which
my-
car
what the hell
manufacturer
is
won the
this?
2017 24 Hours of Le Mans?
Like,
Is it-
why not like 20? Why not last year's? Why do we have to go back to 2017?
Because we're testing your sports trivia. Is it 1 Toyota, 2 Porsche, 3 Chevrolet, or 4 Audi?
We go Chevy. We're in.
I'm gonna give it I'll give it to Toyota.
We're in Detroit.
No.
Might as well.
Chad does not agree with Toyota. How many of you guys in the chat drive a Toyota?
I do.
AB and I drive a Toyota.
Yeah, we're both in here and we both drive black Toyotas.
Let's go.
How many of you guys in the chat are soccer fans?
It's football.
Football.
Oh no! It's
Wait,
soccer. The
Zoli,
euro is
Football,
weaker.
dude.
The euro is weaker than the dollar. It is officially soccer.
Yeah, did you hear that, Zoli and Enver?
Yeah,
It's
So-
soccer. It's soccer now.
it's soccer now.
You officially lost that battle.
You guys.
Bro, catch these hands, man.
I don't know if you guys saw, but FC Charlotte beat Chelsea in a friendly match last night.
Oh, I did not catch that because I don't watch soccer.
All right, in Bolen, what is the term used for getting 3 consecutive strikes? Is it a turkey? Is it a flamingo? Is it an eagle? Or is it a birdie?
The last two are what AB rarely gets.
I mean, true, but like, come on, man. God damn. I gotta get roasted on my own freaking show.
Am I like off camera? Like I feel like, all right, there we go. Now we're in. Well, if you guys didn't know the answer to this one, you're definitely probably not from America, which is fine.
Well,
I mean, they
they were all birds. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I feel like there was a theme there. Well, hey, all right. We'll go with it. Shelly, I don't know why you picked Birdie, but I have faith that you'll get the next one right.
I gotta be honest. I'm not, and maybe because I'm not very good at it. I'm not really the biggest bowling fan in the world.
I went bowling probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago, just randomly with my girlfriend and her family. She was like, "Come out bowling." I was like,
Oh my
okay.
God.
And it was a fun time.
Jesus Christ.
Which professional wrestler fell from the rafters to his death during a live pay-per-view event in 1999? Owen Hart, Lex Luger, Chris Benoit, or Al Snow?
Who's
It is Owen Hart.
Who's writing these damn questions?
Bro, you don't watch WWE?
I don't. I literally
Like that was the most real moment in WWE
I-
history.
Is that why they started doing a delay on live TV? I never have in my life, but I know Chris Benoit has even
Benoit.
has an even more tragic story
Dude,
than that.
dude,
He like went crazy. And
dude,
killed his whole
I
family,
loved
right?
I loved Chris Benoit growing up. He was a absolute monster, and his story was just so tragic. Like, obviously, take care of your mental health. His family did not deserve that. He didn't deserve that. So crazy.
Well, I mean,
That is a dark question. It is a dark question.
yeah, you don't want to know what happened to. You don't look up that story.
Yeah, definitely do not look up the story unless you watch WWE and know the story already. Or if you're curious, look it up. It's very interesting, but definitely very sad.
Is there a YouTube video of it on here?
I don't want to watch the YouTube video.
I'm not saying I wanted to. I was just curious.
I'm sure there is. There's like, like the tragic ending of Chris Benoit, like those stories.
Oh, I was talking about the one where the dude fell.
Oh.
All right. In the 2014 FIFA World Cup, what was the final score in the match between Brazil and Germany? Was it 2-6? Was it 1-7? Was it 1-6? Or was it 1-5?
Well, shit. Germany blew them out either way. It doesn't matter.
I know the answer to this one. This is where that famous photo comes from the old Brazilian man holding the trophy, crying. Because I don't know if you know this, but Brazilians.
It was 3-1-6. Okay.
Wait. Oh fuck! All right. It's
Watch
2.
your profanity.
It's 2. I put the wrong number in. The right answer is 2. It's 1-7. I put the wrong answer in the chat, so just let.
Well,
that
it
be
doesn't
known.
matter. The data doesn't lie.
I know. I'm just saying, let that be known at the end when we get the scores.
It doesn't matter. You're not gonna get it back.
I know.
Oh,
I just said I was right.
Oh, you got it right.
No, I didn't. Look,
You said you were going 1-6.
No, I accidentally put 3. I was saying I knew the right answer was 2. I just typed the wrong number. I fat fingered it. I was like that guy from Citibank.
The data doesn't lie. Data doesn't lie.
I know, but now the winner's going to be invalid because.
But I was watching not Benzinga Live. I do watch Benzinga Live every day because I have to. But I was watching ESPN the other day, and they said they were asking which country has the best footballers, and they said unanimously Brazil, which I agree. But which country did kabaddi?
Well, then how'd they lose 7-1?
A contact sport. Kabaddi. Oh, I love this. I love this game. Which country did kabaddi, a contact sport involving tackling, originate from? Turkey, India, Cambodia, or Australia?
Is that a clue?
It is a clue.
Well,
I know this game. I know this game. My family played it growing up.
This is tough because you might think the clue is that it's from India because it's Indian, but he's also has lived in Australia.
I have lived in Australia. I was born in Africa.
Okay, so all over the place.
I'm all over the place. Yeah, let's go.
I took the context.
India #1.
You actually watched WWE growing up?
Dude, religiously.
Damn.
I love WWE.
You're hella white.
Don't say that. Call me an Oreo.
An Oreo?
No, but growing up, we used to do like family picnics and stuff. And this was a game that we played like all of my older uncles and aunts, which blew my mind because I never saw my parents as active people, but they played this game. They were running around and tackling the other uncles and aunts. And one uncle actually broke his arm. It was a big day.
Isn't WWE a stock?
It is a publicly traded stock. So I can't see because the screen is so far away and small, but definitely we have a winner there.
It's Godin. Got 7 correct answers. I'm in second place with 5. So even
Godin.
My fat finger
goated.
My fat finger didn't even come into play because even if I would have gotten that one correctly, which I did know the answer to, again, I would have still lost by 1. So Godin, you are the true
Godin is goated.
The true people's champion. If you email shows@benzinga.com, I will
put it up. There it is.
I'll try to get you some swag
out.
I'm kidding.
He says try, but like
I'll get you some swag out. It might take a while. We got some supply chain issues going on.
There's a chip shortage.
You know, I got a lot of things going on this weekend, but we will get you some swag out 100%.
What are your plans for the weekend?
I think we're going golfing this afternoon.
Oh yeah, you're going with Jack, right?
Yeah.
We're at Rackham?
No, TPC Michigan.
Sick invite, bro.
In Dearborn.
Sick.
Hey, I was the one that got invited. As an invitee, you cannot then invite others.
I mean, the golf is like a 4-man sport. It's a 4-person group.
If you ask, sure.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't have access to Jack like you do.
We might have a foursome. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Let you know. I'll be ready. I'll be the sub. All right. Cool.
All right. Let's see, guys. I did want to talk about a few other things before we wrapped up today.
Wait, rapid fire stock segment? What?
We could.
All right. Throw those chickers in the chat.
Let's look at WWE.
Yeah, I know you're intrigued by that for some reason.
Oh, okay. God, see, I know this is the swag problem.
Well, all right.
Spencer
left.
No.
We can't blame Spencer.
Just blame it on Spencer because he's gone. They'll never know.
All right. Yes, MD, you could blame Spencer on that one.
Well, everyone would have their swag now had Spencer not left.
Right.
So
Spencer did fuck.
Just hey, MD. What you should do is you should tweet at Spencer right now.
Oh,
just say, hey, Spencer.
Should we all tweet at Spencer?
Just say, hey, Spencer.
All right, everybody in the chat, tweet at Spencer at SJ Israel. Be like, yo, what the heck, man? Why'd you leave? Where'd you go?
No. Don't do that. Just say, hey, where's my Benzinga swag?
No, we should do that too.
Hey, where's my Benzinga swag?
Yeah, why'd you leave? You left before you gave me my Benzinga swag. What the heck?
Yeah, what the heck?
And I want the subject line to be "What the heck."
Wait, Shannon, is this swag you actually ordered and like paid for? If so,
Oh, that's an issue. AB is going to take care of that
yeah, I
ASAP.
will take care of that. One will go to the top of the list. These other
Yeah.
ones, Godin might not get his for months. Shannon, you.
No, that's not true. Godin, you will get yours very soon.
If Spencer comes back, he will.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll say this: if you guys are waiting on a swag shipment, something has not arrived that you ordered, AB will take care of it. He is our swag guy. He has been lacking. I will say that. He is.
No
arguments.
Okay, well, time out. Also, first of all, Aaron, originally
people keep tagging me in all these swag emails because we have the same first name.
Well,
I'm
no,
like AB handles swag.
Okay, time out.
Right?
I was gonna say from
Right?
the original, it was supposed to be like something we did together, right? And then it somehow transitioned to a thing where it's just me.
You got Alyssa. You and Alyssa do it.
That's true. I do.
She does a lot of design. So if you guys have any cool design updates or anything, whatever, Luke, we are on live. You want to come over? You want to take the spot?
We've got 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes.
All right, I did want to pull up WWE stock, and we can do a rapid.
Yeah, you've been saying it for the last 5 minutes. Do it already.
I don't know how. All right, benzingapro.com. Oh wait, I already have it open. So
Don't talk about it, be about it.
While we're watching, while we're looking at WWE, please drop some stocks, some tickers in the chat, and we can go through a rapid fire segment in these last 5 minutes before we wrap up for the weekend. Here's my thing with WWE. I get that it's very popular and it's kind of made like a comeback in the past few years. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean it's been a trending topic because of all the Vince McMahon scandals.
Oh wait, this isn't a stock anymore, guys. What happened?
Did they delist?
What happened to WWE? So whoa, yes it is. Let's go back to Benzinga Pro.
Did someone in the chat just call us Harold and Kumar?
Oh, that's racist. Wait, no, they're not even white and Indian. They're Indian and Asian.
I love it.
I honestly, I think in that scenario though, I would be Kumar.
No chance.
You don't think?
I don't think so. Actually, no. Yeah, you give off Kumar vibes for sure.
I'd 100% be more Kumar than. Okay, wait. I don't know what was.
If you catch us out in the wild, I definitely put out Harold vibes.
That's what I'm saying. Like you'd make a good Harold, I'd make a good Kumar. Here's what I was gonna say about WWE. I know you've had this kind of resurgence over the past like couple of years, but it's to me like I don't know anyone like in my immediate life that watches WWE.
Well, Jason Shubnell, if you remember him, he watched WWE.
Okay.
Still watches WWE. Like
I'm
goes
gonna
to
jump in
those.
here and say that I think WWE is probably on the right track given their recent partnership with Logan Paul. Like it seems like they're taking the sport in the right direction.
Okay, well, what about?
Well, they're trying to circumvent the Vince McMahon scandals where he paid off like 14 women or something like that, $6 million hush money.
It's
or
just
something.
guys being dudes.
No, let's not have that attitude.
I'm kidding. That was completely sarcastic. And Endeavor, we can talk about while we're talking about WWE. Endeavor is the huge talent company acquisition. They went out and bought the UFC, which UFC is growing, and I would think there's more money long term in UFC rather than WWE. Maybe the crowds aren't as big and stuff, but you gotta think about how big sports gambling is, and obviously people aren't gambling on WWE.
Yeah, no, there you can't gamble. It's
right.
Pre-written. It's a rehearsed show.
No, and Tony Miller, I know that wasn't actually racist. I was just kidding around.
No. Hey, we're not calling you racist.
Well, he says he's a random black man.
Oh, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're just joking
fine.
around. Trust me. We did not think that way at all.
No, I just say shit sometimes I don't mean.
Yeah, we're just trying to riff.
Just like the not saying guys being dudes about what's his name, Vince McMahon. Put him in jail. Fuck that guy. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Slime ball. NDAs should be illegal. That's so NDAs are so against freedom of speech. So against the First Amendment. When I become a lawyer one day, I'm going to take that to the Supreme Court. I'm going to say NDAs are unconstitutional by the First Amendment. It's still real to me, damn it. What's the other one what's the other wrestling one?
had no real competition for so long, but now that there's another one that seems to be getting, yeah, UFC, it's real. It's like actionable. You can bet on it. It has a storyline outside of just what you watch during the fights, you know?
I do use Snap Leon. I will say at 25, I use it I use it way less than
So
I used
I will say this. Snapchat was, let's see, it was the social media from
like 2014.
2012 to, yeah.
No.
No, I remember high school.
No.
High
Instagram
school,
was
high
bigger.
school, high school, high
Nope.
school. People had Snapchat in high school. If you didn't have it, you weren't on trend.
Yeah,
but
you
like,
had it. No, I'm saying, yeah. I
2012.
got Snapchat then, like as a freshman in high, like 2012. But I'm saying it wasn't the biggest.
No.
It became like bigger than Instagram at a certain point. Well, maybe not bigger.
There were a few years where Snapchat was bigger for sure, right? And that's
then Instagram introduced Instagram
exactly.
stories.
Everybody copied Snapchat, and that's what made Snapchat pretty irrelevant, right? Because now you have this element of Snapchat in your favorite social media platform. Why use Snapchat, right? Which was the thought.
You know,
but
someone who could be coming in for Snapchat's territory though, because I feel like, yes, everyone's taken pretty much everything except for Snapchat's core value thing, right? Like they've tried Spotlight, all that, but the one thing Snapchat has held on to is just disappearing image like sends and snap streaks. That's what's been keeping them alive.
But guys, we went through the numbers.
But Be Real.
We went through
Be Real, yeah. Be Real is the new one.
We went through the numbers earlier. The problem with Snapchat's numbers weren't in terms of like user growth, right? User growth was up 18% year over year. The market has just gotten to a point where they're like, look, we don't care about that Snapchat anymore. We don't care about how many users you add. Are you making money off of them? And that's the point that Andy O, I don't know who this guy is or what he does, but he brings up a good point in the chat saying, look, even when you're using the app, is the app making money off of you? So I don't know. I think clearly that's where the market's problem is with Snapchat today is on its financials, on its revenue, not necessarily on how many users it's have or on its monthly active users or anything like that. So that's why it's down 40% today. It's simply even with a growth company at a certain point, just growing your user base isn't enough. You have to show some growth on the financial side, which Snapchat has failed to do. And we'll see. I mean, it's cheap down here. Super Spacman, I did want to pull up Shopify because I saw you throw it in the chat, and I know we only have a couple minutes left. But and Super Spacman, shout out. I don't think I've seen you in the chat in a while, but you've been a long time viewer of ours. I don't know. I mean, I like Shopify to me is a legit business that like brings in some cash. Were they as an online shopping platform, were they a $300 billion company or whatever they were a few months ago? No, probably not. Is it still expensive? Yeah, still expensive. Over 10 price to sales. So I don't love this year.
You're looking at Shopify?
Yeah, I will.
Did they see any bump from when they announced the YouTube partnership?
I don't know when they announced it.
It's like earlier this week, not like hella crazy.
Yeah, I mean they had a day that they were up 12%, and then the next day they were up another 5%. So
yeah, because I got an email from YouTube saying, "Oh, we just transformed our shop in partnership with Shopify, so now you can put all your Shopify items under your YouTube videos."
Ooh,
yeah.
Shelly with some good, cool facts in the chat. Is it true Scotland is the new cocaine capital?
Why did that pique your interest?
Because my part of my family's from Scotland. I had no clue. I had no clue. I had no clue the Scottish got down like that. Some Super SPAC, man, I would say on this, like I'm hands off. I wouldn't buy it here, especially you've had this run up in the past few days from like 30 to 40, and then now we're selling off again. I will say if you were looking at this as like a long term, you were going to hold this for 20 years. Would I mind buying some down here at 37 if you love the company? No, not at all.
That is a true statement about Scotland. Wow.
Well, we don't know. That's not fact checked yet.
Yeah,
we can make a TikTok.
Maybe Andy O fact checked it. All right, look out for the TikTok.
We can make a TikTok about it.
We could definitely.
Medellin, Colombia used to be the cocaine capital of the world, but now it's Scotland. Scotland. Yep, that's right.
Do you like haggis? Do you like to sprinkle cocaine on it? Well, now you can.
Nope, that's not powdered sugar.
What's the capital of Scotland, AB? Oh man, I know. I
No, that's Ireland.
I mean,
I was
the
about to make
obvious
Tiny
guess
Pie
is
real
that-
mad.
The obvious guess is Edinburgh or
Wait,
Glasgow. It could be Glasgow.
I was gonna say Glasgow, but I didn't know if that was in.
I thought that was
Scotland.
UK.
I've been to
Glasgow
both
might be
those
Glasgow might be
places, so-
Sweden, bro.
No, Glasgow is Scotland. I've literally been there, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I trust Rohan. Then we'll go with Glasgow because that was at the top of my head. I was gonna say that before you said Edinburgh.
Yeah, Andy O's really testing your metal here. He's what's the capital of Scotland? Since your fam's from there and all, you know.
Well, it's like more of like the like.
Yeah.
It is Edinburgh.
Oh fuck! It is more like it's like the
It's-
extended fan.
it's-
you know?
it's
I think some of them are still out there. By the way, I think
It's
they've got-
Edinburgh.
I think they're in some sort of like baby powder factory or something. I forget exactly what they do.
Bro, what?
Something with talcum powder.
Yeah. Something like that. I forget exactly what they do, but I'll have to follow up with that. All right, guys, that'll be a wrap for us this Friday. Let's end it there. Love you guys. We'll be back on Monday.
Hey, and to those Formula One fans, have a good race weekend.
Let's
Wait,
go.
Tiny Pie, did I mispronounce edit? How do you say it?
Edinburgh.
I'm gonna just say Hamilton P1. That's what I'm going for.
I mean, do you see the upgrade to the car? That little hole to the
Yeah,
to the,
but it,
to the
it
nose.
hasn't been giving them that much.
I mean, I
speed.
haven't seen a lot of
We'll see.
porpoising from it, so
Yeah, that's true. You know who has porpoising now?
You guys are such nerds.
Uh,
I gotta get out of here.
McLaren has some porpoising now. They have speed
What the fuck you
upgrades.
guys
so now they
talking
have
about?
porpoising.
well, I mean, dude, they tested 2 drivers on FP1 today.
Oh, Lord Byron brings up a good point.
McLaren did?
Scotland is the UK.
Not McLaren. Alfa Romeo and shoot,
Shout out,
Williams.
shout out,
was
MD.
probably
See
Oscar
you on
Piastri.
Monday. Shout out.
No,
Shannon.
it wasn't.
Shout out,
Okay.
It
Shelly.
was like Robert Kubica
Shout out Super Spackman.
and
Oh, he's a test driver for Williams.
Shout out
okay.
AO. Shout out Tiny Pie.
All right. See y'all.
All right, we out. Go Ferrari.